And the part when he rapped in front of Lauren's mom, dude, I couldn't believe it. I like jumped off the couch and like held a pillow around my head. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
He sent me a text in all caps saying, "Bruh, Cameron's dropping bars right now."
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, motherfucker. We're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up. Wanna give a motherfucker sucker, put your hand up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 94 of the ScruffCast. I'm Dan.
And I'm John.
Is there like a delay on this? I feel like you took a long time to say I'm John there.
No, I was just thinking to myself that I was like, oh, that was a really like upbeat intro. You're excited to do the podcast.
I really turned it on for this one here.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was maybe a delay because we're back on Zoom again. We're zooming through the podcast, you could say.
It's a little strange.
And literally we might be because we don't have much to offer today.
We never really do.
I guess we don't. No.
It's a bit strange because normally before, this pandemic and shit hit the fan, you come over watching some top 10s, we might sit at the desk, talk a bit, and then we record, right? So, we pull the microphones towards us. But I've been sitting here talking into the mic for the last, hour or so before we actually did the podcast. Yeah,
exactly. And it's and then we just sit here okay, we're just going to record it now? It's just weird because we're already, our faces have already been on this thing for so long. Oh, I guess we'll just, start it. Okay, go.
Yeah. All right, what?
You know what? Okay. Never mind, doesn't matter.
Why? What were you going to say?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
Okay, well, anyway, we got emails.
Yes, we did get a couple listeners.
Believe it or not, we got emails.
At ScruffCast@gmail.com, just like you guys can.
All right, I'll read the first one here. Subject is comments. Hello, ScruffCast team. Shout out to Taryn. Great job co-host Dan's absence. It was nice to see a woman's perspective. Welcome back, Dan. Glad to see you guys are continuing the podcast for your fans. Tiger King. What can I say? It was crazy shit, but extremely entertaining. Keep up the great work. Sent from my iPhone. See? Not all the emails have to be insanely long. We just want to hear from you guys. It doesn't have to be a whole story, although we do love those ones. Just a little hey, what's up, guys? Keep up the good work. Tiger King was crazy. It was.
Yeah, how long do you think it took the listener to type up that email? A couple minutes.
Couple minutes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking. A couple minutes of your week. It's not even your day we're asking for, just a week.
Yeah, we know you're home now. At the time.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You're not allowed to go anywhere.
Everybody's self-isolating.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody's following the rules out there.
If you're not following the rules, shame on you.
Shame.
All right, but we did get another email. This one is a little more beefy. Listener wrote it. Well, actually, hang on. There was something in the notes I just wanted to bring up as we're talking about self-isolating. I did see, so in Los Angeles, LA, they had an official shelter-in-place sort of order, right?
Yeah.
For everyone to stay in their homes, yada, yada. But there was a list of exceptions, right? Essential businesses and people and stuff like that. And one of the things was related to media and the arts, and podcasting was on the list.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So technically we actually still get together and do this podcast,
Well, in LA anyway.
If we're in LA.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem. I don't work from home. I go to work, so this isn't a big deal for me. But this is the kind of stuff that would happen to me. I'm playing solitaire right now on another screen.
That's the commitment to the podcast.
Well, but this is the thing. I can never work from home. I'm sitting here doing a podcast I enjoy, and I'm still doing something else along the side.
It can be a struggle, but it depends on I find it depends on the task. If you have a defined task where you're okay, I know what I got to do, and I know, most importantly for me anyway, I know how I'm going to do it. Then it's all right, put on my headphones, get to work, figure it out. But if it's something where it's oh, I got to research this, or I got to actually try to figure out how to solve the problem, then it's
yeah, I hear you. I could never do it.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be I wouldn't mind working from home for a little while, but now it's every day, forever.
Yeah, seriously. All right, now let's do this.
Yeah, it was just, I know this email is going to take us down a path because it's a beefy one, and I don't want to forget to mention it. So,
all right, here we go.
Buckle up. Subject line is, this is Canada revenue. You owe money sign, money sign, money sign, money sign. Pay now or you will suffer. Hashtag PayPal, hashtag. All in capitalized, by the way.
So this has a little something to do with those fake scam emails you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Which I would expect us to get more of, but just a little bit of a cheeky subject line for the listener.
I like it.
The listener says, hello, Dan and John. Former fill-in host and longtime non-listener here. And no, it's not Kalon.
Because we know Kalon is a long-time listener.
Yes. This email marks my first written correspondence with the ScruffCast. And as per usual, I did not listen to last week's episode. But this quarantation has left me with little left to do, so I thought I'd walk on the wild side and write into the show.
So that's what it's come to now. Just since I have nothing to do, I guess I'll write it.
The ScruffCast, better than literally everything else. Or no, better when there's than literally nothing else. I'm proving the point right here. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of wild, I am aware that you both have watched Netflix's hottest moneymakers, Love is Blind, and the almighty Tiger King. We had a deep dive into Tiger King last week.
You better believe it. Now, hold on. Let's pause for a second here because me and you did a live, well, not live, but watch through of the first episode of Love is Blind. And so for those who remember, I know. For those who remember or even cared to watch along with us, me and John started watching it because we thought, this would be a funny thing to do. The show's going to be so stupid. And about a half hour in, we were hooked. And that was it. And so we actually did continue the show. And you finished it, John, and I also finished it. Yeah. So
this listener is correct. We have binged them both.
We have.
I, too, have witnessed these Nobel Peace Prize contenders, and I saw some parallels between the two that I don't think enough people are seeing. So here goes. My attempt to do a crossover, cast mix-up of the two series, Love is Tiger King, if you will.
Whoa.
So the listener has the Love is Blind, I want to say character, but person, and then the person they sort of map with from Tiger King.
All right.
So we have Jessica Batten from Love is Blind matching up with Carol Baskin. Jessica is for sure that bitch, Carol Baskin. She comes off as a normal, approachable, and easygoing. Then bam, all Emerald Lagasse style. By episode 5, she takes a turn, and suddenly this chick is all kinds of cray. Beware all you cool cats and kittens. That's a good good comparison. That's a good comparison.
So far, so good.
Even has the last names in here. I don't even remember these people's last names for Love is Blind.
Yeah, I didn't know her last name was Batten at all.
No.
I just know Barnett. That's it. Which we'll get to Barnett later.
Yeah, we will. Next, we have Love is Blind's Mark Cuevas, and he matches with Howard Baskin. Love is Blind. Oh, Mark, bless him. So loyal, so patient, so dumb. Jessica strung this poor soul along. This guy is one Walmart expired meat delivery away from being forced to dress like a caveman on a leash for his beachside nuptials. Glad to see he made it out of that relationship sardine oil free. All right.
That's a good one.
That's a good match, yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we have Lauren Speed from Love is Blind. Matches up with Eric Cowie. Now, I don't even remember Eric off the top of my head. I don't even remember him off the top of my head.
Okay, hold on. Let me do some here. Well, let me do some Googling real quick. No. Well, it would help if I spelled it. Eric.
Yeah, I have no idea. And I'm sure there's listeners out there who are like, who is this guy?
Oh, okay. It's like the guy that had like the long hair.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
that guy. Oh, yeah. I like him.
Always wore the sunglasses. Yeah, he had a cool attitude.
Yeah. Lauren Speed. Okay, all
right. Eric is a good guy. Lauren is a good gal. They both are content creators. Lauren creates brand digital content or something, and Eric now creates burgers and got out drama-free. That is true. He did get out drama-free.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
All right. Next, we have Cameron Hamilton from Love is Blind matching up with John Rinke, who this guy I remember because I think he was the guy who had no legs.
Yeah, he was like the manager of the whole place, wasn't he? Like that was the whole thing.
I think so. Like Eric, also a good guy. wants what's best for everyone. Both appreciate a good T-shirt. That's true.
Some of those T-shirts Cameron had on, man. He had one that had like buttons that went all the way down, like halfway down his chest, and then went like I swear up his collar.
Yeah, he's on that Atlanta, Georgia style. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
We'll get into it later, but I can't get over the ages of the people on that show. I'm like, yeah. Right.
Oh, I know. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Damien's 40. Like, there's no way he's 27.
I know. Next, we have Amber Pike, and matches up with Doc Antle. Okay. Doc runs a cult. I could see Amber running a cult. That laugh is not natural. Plus, they both have those luscious locks. That is true.
Very true. Yeah. Oh, my favorite.
We have the G himself, Matthew Barnett.
The G.
Matches up with James Garrettson, who you may remember is the fatty on the Ski-Doo.
Yeah.
With the bad haircut. What a great scene.
That was one of the best scenes in television, actually, I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's like, it will go down in history.
Yeah.
So Barnett matches up with Ski-Doo fatty. That damn lifelike Chucky doll. Like James, I think Barnett is a deep barrel of secrets. The man doesn't even go by his own name. Goes by his last name. Tell me this man doesn't have secrets. So does James. These two just want to ride their mythical jet skis over an ocean of lies. I disagree. Painting
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Nah.
Yeah. No, that's way off base.
That's insulting.
Yeah, it is. We'll move on from that one.
All right. This next one, I like this comparison here. Giannina Gibellia is Joe Exotic. Dear Lord, this girl went off about everything. Somewhere there is a deleted scene of Damien not blinking properly, and she goes off making a country music video smearing his good name. And I bet any day now the studio where that tape is going to be burned to the ground.
Oh my God. What a psycho she turned out to be, eh?
Yeah. She seemed like
we'll get into this later.
The most normal one.
Yeah, we'll get to this later.
The next matchup here we have Damian Powers with, like, what a good name. God, I love that name.
Damian Powers, yeah, I know.
Such a good name. I want to marry Damian with that name.
I know. I forgot that. I forgot Powers was his last name till like near the end. And then it's like, oh, Damian Powers. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, I forgot his name was Powers. Yeah. That's incredible.
Like if he went by his last name, it would just be, hey, Powers.
But you know his name's not Damian, right? Damien's his middle name. Yeah, Damien's his middle name. His name's also Matt, I think. He has the name of someone else on the show.
Mark?
Mark. Maybe his name's Mark.
Mark Powers? And
yeah.
Damian Powers? That's a good name.
Yeah, so I guess they just, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Damian Powers is John Finley, who I'm trying to remember John Finley off the top of my head. Oh, John Finley is the Joe Exotic's first husband that was missing the teeth.
Yes.
Yes. The patience of a saint. Like John, Damien finally stood up for himself and said enough's enough. Good for both of them. Bet Damien's got a sweet set of tats under those button-ups.
And maybe a sweet tat under that belt buckle, too.
I like this comparison. Kelly Chase is one of Doc's wives. I can't remember their names, probably because there are too many of them. But like Doc's prisoners, I could barely remember Kelly's name. But then like that one girl that broke free from Doc's powerful cargo shorts trance, she escaped. Good on you, Katie, Kathy, Kelly. See? Already forgotten. How's it going?
Yeah.
Then we have the last comparison. Kenny Barnes is Joshua Dial. Now I'm trying to remember Joshua Dial. Was that like the guy with the tattoo?
No, I think he was the guy who ran his campaign for him. Yeah.
This guy, just sitting back, watching everything unfold. Totally normal, boring guy. And then one day he's thrown into this circus, and then he's got a vape to just make sense of it all. Plus, Kenny's a total libertarian, right? Hashtag Gary Johnson 2016. Now, I don't appreciate the little bit of a jab at Gary Johnson, okay?
Who the hell is Gary Johnson?
He's the third-party presidential candidate in 2016.
Okay.
If people were like, I don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton because she stinks. Oh, I don't want to vote for Donald Trump because he stinks. He was like the leading third-party candidate.
So let's vote for this guy who's not going to make a difference anyway. Let's waste our vote here. Pretty
much. Because like third-party candidates have a tough time. Like they'll never gain enough votes. Although I think it was Ross Perot in the 90s got like 19% as a third-party candidate, which is like a shit ton. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, the email goes on to say here, phew, what a ride both shows were. Netflix owes us all a Valium now, or a Pepto. Those meat truck flashbacks are still making me queasy. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you both are keeping safe, healthy, and staying off of OnlyFans. Peace and pie, your not so loyal listener. That was a nice little boomer-proof reference at the end there.
That was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was some of those comparisons were pretty spot on.
I think so too. I never caught those comparisons, but yeah, I like it. Except for the Barnett one. That one's just outrageous.
Yeah, that's quite frankly insulting.
I agree. Barnett was nothing but a saint this whole goddamn show. Now, let's get into it. I know you've got thoughts on this show. So for any men who are actually listening to this podcast right now, you could just about turn it off.
Or what you should do is go watch Love is Blind and then come back, because we're both very manly men. And the show got us hooked in us.
The manliest of the men.
Yes.
Yeah, the show got us hooked.
Here.
Decent show. Okay, so you wanted to each character and give your thoughts? Is that kind of what your thought, or each couple?
I was thinking maybe each couple, like couple by couple.
Okay.
Oh, I left off a couple. Oh, how could I forget about them? The couple that was barely on the show.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, okay. All right, well, let's do it. Who's the first couple you want to talk about?
I don't know. Does couple by couple make sense? Or you want to like work from the beginning? Yeah, we'll go couple by couple. All right.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Now, do you want to start off like spicy, or you want to start off like easy?
I don't care. Doesn't matter.
All right, we'll start off because the first one's written on my list here. I had Lauren and Cameron.
Ah, okay. So this is kind of funny here because the note I kind of have in this is pretty much, so when we first the first episode, the one we recorded, like how many times did we call Cameron a bitch in that episode?
A lot.
You know what I mean? We're like, this guy's such a bitch. Look at him.
He had those really sad eyes. Like
sad
I didn't like
eyes.
looking
That's
at him.
what it was.
Just I'm like, oh, this guy has some demons.
Yeah, he was like he was totally just like, oh god, this guy's so lame, whatever, right? But dude, by the end of it, I liked him. I actually really liked him.
He charmed his way into our hearts.
Yeah, I was like, I'm happy for him. And the part when he rapped in front of Lauren's mom, dude, I couldn't believe it. I like jumped off the couch and like held a pillow around my head. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
He sent me a text in all caps saying, bruh, Cameron's dropping bars right now.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like, that was probably one of my favorite parts of that whole show, was that one part there. And for people who don't know, Lauren is black and he is white. So it's like a white guy dropping bars to his black girlfriend's mother. It was fantastic.
Yeah, trying to woo the mother-in-law to be. Yeah, but he did well. I will say, at one point they went on a date that was like in the middle of the woods somewhere in like this treehouse thing. And I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
That was
that
cool.
Little treehouse thing.
Yeah, what was funny though is, did you notice that like when they walked in, it was raining, right? She had like the umbrella, and then like you look at him, he's just like, he's drenched. He's carrying all the bags, and he's like just drenched. She just carried the umbrella over herself. I thought that was funny. Yeah, Lauren, like I don't know, she was pretty like a non-controversial. Like she just was what she was.
Yeah, her only worry was she's like, I don't know, because we're interracial couple, hey? And then you're like, oh, the person's definitely got to be coming from the family.
Yeah, I think she's worried about her dad so much. But then, like, Bill ended up being okay in the end.
Yeah.
I think he was good with it. He wasn't nearly as intimidating as I think everybody originally thought he was going to be. It wasn't that bad.
No. And Cameron owned a nice home as well, with like the little balcony.
Oh my God, did he ever? Like, Jesus Christ, what a nice place. And then she has the nerve to be like, well, do you mind if I keep my shitty little apartment? Bitch, look at this beautiful 3-bedroom Victorian-style home I bought for us.
I know.
Well, he bought it for himself, but
he's willing to share it.
Exactly, yeah. All right, move on. We're moving on to the next.
We'll move on. Did you you watched the reunion as well, right?
I did, yes, yeah.
And I guess to make it make it make sense for any listeners that didn't watch the show, this is one of the couples that was a success. They both got to the end, and they said yes and they got married.
True, yeah. Maybe we should push out of that.
I kind of like the way that the show made them get up to the altar to have to say, I do or I don't.
Of course, it's got to be spicy,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, and also I found out they're doing a second season with the new people.
Yeah, I heard that too. Now, so when me and my wife Anna watched the rest of this, anyway, we actually took bets at the end of who would make it, who wouldn't make it. So unfortunately, we can only bet on 4 of them because she's a douche and can't just let a show play out. So she had to Google. So she Googled Cameron and Lauren, found them on Instagram, and saw that they were still together. So we knew that they made it, right? So I was like, okay, well, screw it. Like, not that I had any doubts anyway. I was pretty sure they were going to make it through in the end, right? But
you never know, because this show did have some surprises.
Yeah, it did. It did.
All right. I picked that couple, so you pick the next one.
All right. We'll go Kenny and Kelly. Let's go with them.
All right. The one note I have written here is Kelly doesn't deserve Kenny.
Oh, 100% agreed. And so, like, this is the funny thing about all this. So, they seemed like the perfect couple, you know?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, like, the second last episode where you saw some cracks, where she, like, they was at the bachelorette party, and she's talking to her friends, and she's like, yeah, he's not the normal type of guy I'd go for. And then she just, like, straight up is like, yeah, I just get a friend vibe from him. I was like,
dude, I felt bad.
I know, but they kind of, like, I know, but, like, you know what I mean? They kind of, like, brushed it off to the side, eh? Like, it was not that big of a thing that she said it.
I know.
Like, the way they edited the show, I was like, whoa. Like, hold up, what the hell was that, right? And that's why I was like, oh, they're not making it. Like, right then, I was like, yeah, for sure she's going to say no. I can almost guarantee it.
Dude.
And sure enough, she did.
Yes, that one was one of the ones that didn't work out. They got up there. And Kenny, so charming, says, I do. And Kelly said, no. And then she leaves, and I don't know how Kenny's still up there. He's like, oh, well, this isn't the outcome we wanted, guys, but thanks everybody for coming. Like, Kelly's mom even turned. She's like, God, I love this guy.
I know. Dude, he took it so well, just like such grace and class. He just stood up there.
I'd be losing my shit.
Me too. I'd be like, everybody get the fuck out of here. I'd be losing it, man. Yeah.
And like when their families met and everything, and they just like, everyone got along, they loved each other. I was like, man, even their families are getting along. This couple's perfect.
I know. And what's ridiculous too is like, okay, break it. Look at her, okay?
Yeah.
I come on. She's not a supermodel, okay? I mean, she's not ugly. She's a pretty girl, but like, she's kind of plain Jane. There's nothing that great about her, right? Like, so like, who's she walking around thinking like she's a goddess or something like that?
I know, and she was what, 33?
Yeah, her time's ticking. Those eggs are drying up.
Yeah. Poor Kenny.
She should be damn worried. Well, in the reunion, we found out that he has moved on and he is in a new relationship, and she is not. So
good for you, Kenny.
That's 1-0, Kenny.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the next one?
All right, the next one. Let's go into the wild card one here. Carlton and Diamond. I've even forgotten on the show.
I know.
To the point where it was the reunion, and I recognized Carlton. And I'm like, oh, Carlton. But then I'm like, who is that random person sitting next to Cameron?
Fat black chick.
And I was like, oh.
She packed on a few pounds.
But as I was watching the reunion, like Carlton was just talking about, I was like, man, this is actually like really sad. You could see he's.
I know.
I like felt so bad for him. And I was, watching it with Taryn, and I'm like, this is so sad. She's like, what? She was on her phone. I'm like, you're missing this.
Yeah, I kind of felt for him at the end, but at the end, he sabotaged himself.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what the breaking point was when he was like, what did he say? He's like, oh, I don't fuck with bitches like you. And then she's like, what'd you say? He's like, no, I don't fuck with women like you. He tried to backtrack and pull the bitch back. Oh, it was too late. Oh, it was too late, Carlton.
Yeah, they blew up in spectacular fashion.
Monkey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they blew up because.
But
yeah, he was just funny. He was also. He liked men as well, and that was like a big thing in their relationship.
I mean,
which me and you watched this episode together, and me and you are very progressive people, obviously, because we thought there was nothing wrong with that. What's the big deal, So he had some relations with men back in the day. Who cares?
Yeah, he kind of made it worse for himself because I don't think she reacted like super badly. She was just kind of like, oh, like, no surprise. And then he's like, what the fuck? And he like threw his hat into the pool. And you're like, oh.
Oh, I know. Through the ring. Like, oh, man. And then when he said her wig was falling off the whole time, too, oh, that made me laugh.
Oh, that was a lot. Like, It's so funny because it was just like, okay, we're gonna get married and spend together forever, and then a day later, it's like, watch my ass that next dick, boy, and she's leaving. He's like, your wig's been sliding since day one.
Your wig's been sliding since day one.
And it's like, damn.
Oh, that was hilarious.
They went from a lifetime of love and happiness potentially to like, just they're leaving their trip early.
The most vicious of fights.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. All right, why don't we let's do it. Let's move on to Amber and Barnett because the last two are the spy ones. Dude, what do I say? I'm just over the moon thrilled. You know, it's like having a best friend, you know, and seeing them get married and just them finding their happiness. That's what this felt like for me. I almost wanted to tear up a little bit. It was so beautiful.
I will admit, I was a little worried because they come back from the honeymoon or the pre-wedding trip to Mexico or whatever. And then Amber's like, oh, by the way, you know, I'm not really working right now. I've got like $20,000 worth of debt from college I never graduated from. And I was kind of like, ugh.
I know. I was like,
Barnett, I don't know about this. Like,
yeah, it's funny. It's funny because Barnett's like also like a wacky fun guy too, but like deep down he has his shit together. You know, he's like he owns his own house. He's an engineer. Like that's what was so funny about it. And dude, he was like self-conscious about bringing her back to his house. He's like, you know, it's not a big house. You know, I hope she thinks it's okay. Like he was self-conscious about it. I was like, dude, you got nothing to worry about. This girl has literally nothing.
Yeah. Like her thing just said ex-tank mechanic because it's like
not even a current occupation. Yeah, just ex-tank mechanic.
And his family seemed a little like, you know, they're close together. Not religious, but more of a conservative vibe.
Conservative family,
like the original meeting with the family, and Amber's kind of like, hey, and I'm just kind of like, oh man, Amber, down, you're gonna ruin it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely I don't know. The more me and Anna watched it, I was like, I think that's like a nervous tick for her, like that super loud like laugh. I think it's like a nervous thing. Like I don't know. That's what it kind of seemed like, but you know what though? Like as soon as they did that, like she went over there to meet his family and stuff. Instantly, I'm like, no, I want this to happen even more now. I was like, because he deserves something better than this, you know? Because he's like a fun guy. He just wants to have, you know, but he's got this like, you know, stick up the ass family who like just like, you know, who's all conservative, and he deserves this. This is what he should have, you know, is Amber, who's like a little more out there, a little more fun. I think it's like, you know, more ideal for the two of them.
They can balance each other out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think if he can balance her more, you know, more towards the center, you know, being a little more stable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He'll be fine. Because Barnett obviously doesn't need to be changed because he's perfect, right?
Yeah. How could nobody not like Barnett? Like
I know.
Dude, the guy
I'm a little salty in the email he was compared to the jet ski guy.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else he could even be on that show.
Dude, he'd be Doc Antle. He just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's like chatting up all the girls, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, that guy turned Love is Blind into The Bachelor, okay? That's literally what this guy did.
Dude, like, to the point where one of that other...
All the girls are just like after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So I'm happy for him.
I will say, though, in the reunion, it looks like the year has not been super kind to Barnett. It looks like he's put on like 10 pounds.
Okay, so it wasn't just me who thought it. His face looked a little chubbier.
A little chunkier. I will say that.
Yeah. You know what? Even more relatable, if you ask me.
Yeah, now I can really understand.
Now I get it. Yep. Yeah. So our whole thing, what we're actually here to do today on the podcast is to get you guys to help us to get Barnett on the podcast.
Yes. So he is probably the most attainable guest we could ever get to call into the show, but he's probably up there with the one we want the most. Yeah,
there's not too many people I want over him.
Like to the point where I was just looking at myself in the camera feed and I was like getting nervous. I'm like, I can't let Barnett see me like this.
I need a haircut.
Yeah,
this is the thing, because I feel like the three of us would I think we'd hit it off. We'd be really good friends.
Yeah,
this is the thing, like, you know, we're all fun. We like to have a good time, you know.
He can go back and listen to the watch along and be like, "Wow, these guys have liked me from the beginning."
Could you imagine being that guy's friend? You know, going to the bars and stuff like that. You'd be skiing in his wake all night, man. The amount of girls that guy would pick up, I love how he says on the show, I'm not exactly much of a ladies' man, I wasn't that great with the girls. Oh, Barnett, stop being so humble. Look at you. You're so handsome. Like, come on. What's crazy, though, I was watching the show with Anna, and I was like, just look at this guy. He's so handsome. And she's like, I don't know, he's okay. I was like, are you serious right now?
Like you're starting to worry about her own judgment, and you're like, what do you think I look like?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, if you don't think this guy's handsome, you have some weird taste, and I'm ashamed of myself now. Yeah, so, all right, let's move on from that. But yeah, we want him on the podcast. That's the main goal.
Yeah, he's got a Twitter. When the time comes, we'll wrangle the Scruff Disciples, and we'll get him on the show. Come hell or high water.
Oh, dude, I would. I don't even know if I could be on it. I don't know if I could do that episode with you. I just listen. It'd be too much for me. Too much to handle.
I was just thinking, we need to do it when we could do the podcast back in person, so we could get a cake and celebrate. Yeah. We'll break the fast.
Can you imagine he comes to your house?
Oh
my God. We have Barnett in the studio. Forget Obama. Imagine getting Barnett in the studio.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Dude, that'd be so much fun. We play what's that game? Beat Saber with him?
Oh yeah. There you go. I think he's played Beat Saber.
He'd be down for Beat Saber, yeah.
He'd be all nonchalant, but he'd just be ripping a max combo. That'd be sick.
All right. Okay. All right. You got the next one. Who are we going to next? I'm sure this is a thrilling podcast for anybody who's never watched this.
Well, shame. I mean, that's on them.
That's true. This is our goddamn podcast. We do what we want. We're talking about Love is Blind. We're going to talk about Love is Blind.
I mean, at this point, it's as much for the listeners as it is for us, because now we don't have our regular Mondays, right?
Exactly. We need to chat about this, and you're going to have to listen.
All right. I say that next we jump into the couple related to Amber and Barnett, which is Jessica and Mark.
Yes.
So this was doomed from the get-go because of Barnett's charm.
Yeah. Dude, he's too handsome. Even his voice is handsome.
He's so handsome. All the ladies fell for him. And then he was trying
including
to decide,
Jessica.
Right? It was between Jessica, Elsie, who just disappeared and didn't find another man.
One and done.
And then Amber. Obviously, he went with Amber, and it all worked out for them. They both said I do, and they've been married a year now.
Yeah.
But Jessica went with her backup plan, which was Mark. But she was ready to cast Mark away.
She told him,
go with Barnett. And she was worried because Jessica's 34, Mark's 24, so there's a 10-year age difference. And this was just as bad news from the get-go. So for some reason, it didn't dawn on me that the couples were going to be around each other after the pods.
I know.
On vacation to the same place. I'm like, oh, they're going on vacation in the same place. They're going to see each other because then we'll get to see this. Yeah. So Jessica was all over Barnett, right? And poor Mark. So in the end, they didn't work out. Jessica said no. Which one thing I found weird was Jessica walked herself down the aisle.
Well, right away. Right away, I was like, yeah, okay. She's 100% saying no. If she doesn't, she has no family there. Her dad's not even walking her down the aisle. That's it. She's 100% saying no.
So she said no. So the first note I have written here is Jessica saved Mark from himself. Poor Mark. Like the other email said, he was too dumb. He seemed like a nice guy, but there was...
he seems like a super nice guy.
There was one of the things she said in the episode before the finale where she's like, probably not the kind of guy I'd normally go for. Maybe I would see him, or, he's a fitness instructor or something, and that would turn me off. And I would always be cautious of what I'd say in these talking head segments, thinking let's say it worked out, right? You're going to watch it back eventually. I'd be worried about seeing my husband or wife seeing it.
100%. Yeah. She was just the absolute worst. I can't even say on the podcast what I actually have written here. It's so terrible. I have nothing but bad things to say about her.
It was pretty bad, but dude, she liked the wine.
Oh, what a drunk she was, man. And some of the stuff she said,
yeah, pretty bad.
And she would go over and talk to Barnett and try to get him to like say how unhappy he was with Amber, and he was just like, no, I'm happy. I'm good. Thank you, though.
Yeah, he's
the funniest. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like if Barnett had picked her, she would have been a totally different person.
Oh, for sure.
Like, could it work? Maybe, but like, we'll never know because that version of her never got to exist.
No, it didn't. She'd be wrapped around his finger. She'd be under his spell. That's exactly what would happen. Yeah. She wouldn't be the dominant figure like she was in like Tamark, right? But
she was the boss.
My favorite part of all that was when I think it was when they first all met at the beach, like on vacation, when they first all met that night, and she finally got to actually see Barnett for the first time and see how handsome and good looking he was, and was obviously like, God damn it, like this is exactly what I did want, and now I can't have it. And so it does like the classic like cutaway where she's talking off to the side. She's like, it's just funny, like, if Barnett was with me, you would see a different Barnett, more introspective Barnett.
All about that.
Yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, dude, this guy would not be introspective. This guy is who he is. That's the thing I liked about him the most. He was like the most real person on that whole show. He wasn't putting on a show for the show. You know what I mean? Like,
it seemed like he's
I think it's like that's just who he was. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's just hanging out.
That's who he was. Yeah, exactly. That's what I liked the most about him.
I will say though, in the reunion, Amber sort of, calls her out on it, blah blah blah. But I almost felt a little bad because, Amber was just sort of ripping her a new one, and she was just like, okay, and she seemed so sad. You could tell it was a rough year for her.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bad.
She saw what a jackass she was on the show.
Yeah. Well, especially, I think it almost sounded like she went to rehab or something after the fact. She was talking about drinking and stuff. It seemed like she had a rough year for sure.
Oh my God, she was real. Yeah. Well, hopefully she turns her life around.
Hopefully. She's getting old.
Hopefully not. I don't care, actually. All right, moving on to the last ones here. Now,
this couple was actually the first one to sort of get their, I don't want to say the finale, like wrap it up right in the end, because they went first to get to the weddings, and we'll just jump right to the end result. End result, Giannina said yes, and she was all like, "Oh, Damien, my love forever," blah blah blah. Said all these nice sweet things, right?
Yeah.
And Damien looked like he's struggling, and then he said no, and I was like, "Oh, dude,
I knew it. I knew he was going to say no. I had a feeling. I was like, he's going to say no, man.
But I was still surprised.
Okay, the whole time that show, everything he said on that show was so accurate. There wasn't a single time where I was like, I don't know, he's a little off base there. Like, everything he said about her, like the way she's reacting to things, whatever it was so unbelievably accurate. I was like, this guy's never said a wrong thing on this show.
No.
He's like, he sees exactly what's happening, and he's just like, this is exactly what's going on here, right? Like, to her and the relationship, whatever she was saying back then. She was like, not like a spiritual, like, that's not what it was, but she's more like kind of like head in the clouds.
Would you say like free-spirited?
Free spirit, yeah, that's the way to put it. And so he was like, she was kind of all over the place, and he was just kind of like, these are the facts. This is exactly what's going on here, kind of thing, right? That's what I like most about him. He was just like, he never wavered from that. He was always just like, boop, telling the pure facts. And oh man, did she dig him hard or what? Like when they're having that argument and he's in the bedroom, she's in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what she said? Oh my God, I was reading like some stuff on Twitter like afterwards, and like people were saying like, dude, when that happens, you just like you jump out the window, you kill yourself. That's it. Like it's game over.
On TV too.
When someone says that, yeah. When you get called out like that on TV, you jump out the window.
We can't even go into it. It's too painful.
I would like that would be it for me. I would quit the show right at that moment. Yeah, that'd be it for me. And he took it well.
He did. I was like, to his credit,
well.
I will say though that in the beginning, right? They all seem like all the women on the show seemed like a little. I don't want to say a little crazy or a little out there, but for the first 4 episodes or so, she seemed sort of like the most there. She was
just kind of fun, a
little free going, but not like so crazy and wild like Amber. But she was apparently a business owner. Who knows what sort of business? But that it was when they had Barnett's birthday party, which
maybe OnlyFans.
Barnett is so cool that he was the only one who got a birthday party during the show as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So the birthday, and then that's when you could see the beginnings of her, being a bit of a psycho.
Yeah,
because they're talking about nothing,
sure.
And she goes from 0 to 100 with Damien telling him to shut up. I'm just like, ooh.
You know what?
You could see
there was that too.
The crazy eyes.
Oh yeah, the crazy eyes. There was another part too when they're on the boat together and they're sitting there, and she's like, "Oh, what are you thinking about?" He's like, "Oh, just thinking about how nice this is, and how just, don't want to go back to reality." She's like, "Well, what reality are you running away from?" He's like, "No, I'm just saying, I'm enjoying this right now. I just don't want to go back." She's like, "Well, tell me what it is." And she's like freaking out. He's like, "Oh, what the hell? There's nothing. I'm just saying." She just had to dig at absolutely everything. But yeah, what I loved about it when he said no in the end, and he gave such a reasonable explanation of why he said no too. That's what was so funny. Yeah. At the altar, he was like, "Listen, I love you, and I know you love me, but he's like, every day is different with you." She's like, "Yeah, you may have your butterflies now, but tomorrow they may be gone. I can't allow you to marry me based off of that,
Which is totally fair.
Yeah, I was like, damn, man, this guy, he's just so fact-based almost. You would think he was the diligent scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was that bitch-ass Cameron.
I got to give him credit, yeah. You're right. He handled it well. And, you could see it pained him to say no. Because it's scary, right?
Yeah.
Obviously he loves this person. And it could be like, well, see ya. Even though, hey, maybe, it would all work out or whatever.
Yeah, but he did the right thing in the end. And in the reunion, you find out that they're back together. They're dating.
Back together, which I think is fair, right? Because I kind of feel like with these couples, you would want to say no, but just keep dating because you don't want to get married after a month.
That's the thing. There were some of them that just seemed like they needed more time, and that was one of them. I think they're good together, but it's they need more time, these two, before they make any decisions, right?
It almost sounded like Kelly said that her and Kenny were expecting them both. She's like, I thought we had agreed upon I don'ts, and then we'll just continue as normal. But then
Kelly said that?
I think so, yeah. That's what
wow, you didn't catch that.
And then they get up there and Kenny waxes poetic. And he's like, I do, and you'll be my woman forever, blah, blah, blah. And dude, talked about with Kenny about after the fact, the producers grilling him. It's like, dude, I would not be wanting to deal with anybody.
Oh, yeah. That was the other time he got pissed. He's like, I'm not talking about this. Don't ask me those questions. I'm not talking about this. You know what I hated the most is when Jessica kept saying, I found my person. She's like, shut up. Shut up, Jessica. My person. Hey, B. Remember what she said when she'd see Barnett? Hey, B. Oh, shut up.
You did also point out a fun, interesting fact about Barnett, which, how many of those have we had so far? He said he was the only one who wasn't dressed up in a suit.
Yeah.
In the pods.
Yeah. The very first episode, everybody's dressed up in suits and stuff, and he's wearing jeans and a button up. Yeah. And my favorite part is when he proposes to Amber in the end, and they actually finally get to meet each other. He's wearing cowboy boots. Legendary, cowboy boots under the suit.
That's a veteran move.
This guy's a veteran move to the max. This guy's a legend.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's enough. Love is Blind.
Yeah. Was that a deep enough dive for the listeners? If you haven't listened, you should, or if you haven't watched the show, you should still watch it.
Mm-hmm. Even though we've spoiled it all for you, it's still worth watching.
Because you best believe we're going to be watching next season and doing a similar deep dive.
The show was just ridiculous. It's so wacky. But then you buy into it at a certain point too, right? There's so many there's so many stakes involved, It's oh my god, this is it's so intense.
I was emotionally invested. When Kelly said Kenny gave the friend vibe, I was pained. I was like, oh yeah,
man. There's a few times, it was oh no,
And I'm not one for reality TV.
Because most people on that show, besides Carlton, none of them were these douchey kind of guys. They all seem actually pretty nice people. There was nobody that I'm I hate this guy. This guy's a loser. There was no one I thought like that, right?
No.
They were all kind of I like all these guys, and
even the people who didn't.
You're kind of rooting for them all.
Even the people who didn't make the cut. Remember Rory? He was just the charming life coach, and he's like, what do you guys think?
I found him on Twitter too, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found one too because I found Barnett, and then Barnett like retweeted something that Rory said.
That's funny.
I was like, dude, no way.
Yeah, I looked for Barnett's Twitter, but I didn't see Rory on there. I wonder how many.
Oh my god! For like, I know it was so funny. Like, I swear, almost every episode after that, like they're just like randomly cut to like different scenes, and there'd be like a person in the background, and it'd be like, "Oh my god, is that Rory back there?" Like, no, why would Rory be there? He's not there. Like, imagine he's like one of the groomsmen or something at one of their things. That'd be so funny.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. They were friends the whole time.
Yeah, they created such a strong bond. Even a better bond than with the girls in the pod.
That'd be funny.
All right. It's time.
One other thing. Oh, dude, I forgot about that whole segment of the podcast. I'm going to say one other thing. I liked when Lauren called Jessica out for getting all wasted and said, Jessica's a messica today. I liked it. I appreciate it.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember like, we were watching it. I was like, dude, this girl's wasted. Look at her. Like, and it wasn't until like a little later on in the season where they kind of like acknowledged it. I was like, dude, this girl's a drunk. Look at her. She's a mess.
Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Email us at gmail.com. If you didn't like this deep dive, well, then you guys got to let us know.
And a big shout out. Big shout out to Matthew Barnett.
Yeah. Follow us at ScruffCast and come on the show, Barnett. We're here waiting for you.
Please.
We're begging you. What else are you doing?
All right. Let's do it. Let's get to the
top 5. Now, I actually forgot that we had the top 5 because I was just so invested.
In Love is Blind. Nope, we do have a top 5. See, for all the people that stuck around, you made the right decision because here we are with the top 5.
Dan's even sitting up. He was lounging.
I did. I was laying down for a little bit, but it's getting intense now. I got to sit. Got my list here. I'm ready to go. Okay,
I know our lists are going to differ quite a bit. The top 5 this week is.
I think they will too.
Superhero movies.
I think I already know what your number 1's going to be.
All right,
we'll see. I think it'll be your top 2 for sure. Anyway, besides the point. Okay. Yeah, do we say top 5 superhero movies? That's what we're doing.
You did the intro, so I go first.
You go first. Go ahead.
My number 5. Now, I've only seen this movie once, but there's a reason it makes the top 5. That's X-Men First Class. So this is part of the X-Men trilogy that started, I think this was like 2011, 2012. And one of the reasons it's so good is because I love Michael Fassbender, and he's like a perfect Magneto in these movies. Just so good.
Yeah, he was good in those movies.
Now later in the trilogy, it kind of goes to shit a little bit, but
yeah, Apocalypse was brutal.
Yeah, but X-Men.
We saw Apocalypse in theaters together.
Did we? I didn't even remember.
Yeah, and it sucked. Yeah.
But X-Men First Class was good, and I don't know. There's like the X-Men Academy, so you get those sort of like English Castle Ground vibes. I love English Castle Ground movies.
I didn't know that about you. It's interesting.
And shout out to Michael Fassbender. He's awesome. I'd have him on the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that.
That'd be awesome. So that's my number 5.
My number 5 is Iron Man, the original, the very first Iron Man.
Good choice.
Yeah, this movie needs to be on the list because it was like the start of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, it's like the true beginning. You know, superhero movies are kind of like whatever. You know, they made like a bunch of Spider-Mans that kind of sucked before that. There was some Batman movies here and there or whatever, right? But this was like the true start of like that action-packed superhero movies. You know what I mean? With the CGI and everything like that.
It was the beginning of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's what it was, yeah. And Iron Man is the first one. It was such a good movie. I remember, I think we were in high school when that came out. And
yeah, it was like 2007-ish.
Yeah. I remember going to see it in theaters. And I loved it. It was awesome. So that was the start. And like, it's so funny because then you just like, oh, Iron Man, that was a good movie. It'd be cool if they made a sequel, you know? And then like, Jesus Christ, look what it spawned into, you know?
Yeah, it turned into this huge thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. It's my number 5.
All right. My number 4. One of those shitty Spider-Man movies you just mentioned. Spider-Man 2. From the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire.
Right.
Just something about that original trilogy that, I should say the first two movies because Spider-Man 3 stinks, but there's something about those early, like, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. They just have that charm. It's very early 2000s. And it was like...
They were fantastic movies, though, for the time, too. Like, they're groundbreaking.
Yeah, like, we hadn't really
you watch those movies
any.
now, they still look legit. Like, they still hold up almost 20 years later. Like,
yeah, like, up until that point, the only sort of big superhero movies, at least as far as I know, was, like, the weird Batman ones in the late 80s and 90s and, like, some Superman ones, but...
That was really it. The Spider-Man one was the first, like...
Yeah, and Spider-Man 2 in particular was really good because it had it was just better than the first in a lot of ways. Yeah, because it had Dr. Octavius.
Well, because it's not so much of an origin story anymore, right?
They're fighting in the bank.
Get into it.
It's good.
Yeah, he was a good villain.
Yeah.
That was a good pick. I like that one.
Shout out Spider-Man.
All right. Shout out Spider-Man. Okay, my number 4 is Avengers Infinity War. This movie, again, we actually saw this in theaters, me and you, John. This movie is just pure action packed. And the way it ends is so epic. Like, it just ends, boom, Thanos snaps them all, like half the world disappears, and then that's it. The movie's over.
One of my favorite movie endings of all time, which I'll just jump ahead and say this was my number 3, so we'll just talk about it at the same time.
Okay, yeah, let's just talk about it then. Yeah.
Because... I just love the ending so much. I almost wish this was the end of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thanos snaps his fingers, and half these people are dead. It's like,
I love Endgame. Like, I love the way it ended, but like that would be like unbelievable if that's the way it all ended. Boom,
because
that's it. The villain wins. Like, that's it.
Because you never see it happen, right? And
no.
The reason I love the ending so much is that. Even though right? They're going to make another part. These characters can't be dead forever, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, full spoilers on all these movies. We didn't know. If you haven't seen them, I mean, too late now. But for the briefest of moments, right? You have this 1-year period before the next movie starts where it's like, they're dead. That's just the state of the universe. It's
that's where we're at right now.
I wish they had the balls to keep it like that. We don't need a bunch other, Black Panther movies. Let him and the rest of the characters be snapped away.
Just die. That's it.
Yeah. That would take some cojones.
There's too much money involved. That's the problem.
But I really love that ending, especially because we're watching the movie, and I remember thinking, like, man, it's been going on for a while. Like, how are they going to catch Thanos? And then it's just like Thanos just sits back, is like, and it's like that's the end. I was like, oh, I was not expecting.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Whoa, this is no way. That's how it ends. Yeah. I know, there's a fantastic ending. The whole movie is just, like, really entertaining. It was the first movie where, like, because the first two Avengers, you had, like, all the, the Avengers. But this, you had, like, oh, my God. It, like, dug so deep into all the characters from, like, the Black Panther. Like, you name it. Ant-Man wasn't in that one. No, he was in Endgame. But, like, you know what I mean? You had, like, Spider-Man. You had all the characters in it. It was insane. You have, like, half of them up in space, half of them on Earth. It was really cool. I like that a lot.
Another thing I really liked from that movie is when it finally you could really they really drove home how undefeatable Thanos was, because it finally seems like they've got him, right? They managed to take the stones away or whatever. I can't even remember exactly what it is, but they think they have him. And then he just takes the stone out of the guy's head and he uses that time stone.
Head, yeah.
And he uses that time stone, just reverses it, and he's like still good. And you're like, oh, how are they this guy can't be defeated. You really feel that sense of like, it's just grim.
Yeah, like they may not win this time. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Fantastic movie. All right, so that was my number 4 and your number 3. So I guess I'll jump to my number 3 now. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So what's funny is, like, Captain America's out of, like, the 4 of them, kind of like the big 4 Avengers. He's like definitely not one of my favorites, but I think the Captain America movies are some of the best of, like, the whole Marvel franchise. And the Winter Soldier particularly is my favorite out of all of them. I don't know, since it came out, like, I just loved everything about it. Like, I remember originally watching the first Captain America. I hated it. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. I went and saw this one in theaters.
Originally.
Yeah, I went and saw this one in theaters, and I was like, oh my God, like, what a fantastic movie this was. It was more light. It was, like, more fun. Bucky comes back, and now Bucky's, like, his nemesis and stuff, but he's, like, still has that friendship that he's not willing to, like, give up, right? Like, it's such a good movie.
It was a good choice.
Yeah.
My number 2 I have a feeling this might be the one that you were thinking of. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Just what a good movie. It's an animated Spider-Man movie, which is surprising, right? Normally I think animated movies never really sort of reach the same sort of heights as
for sure, yeah.
Like these other live action movies. Not that animated movies are bad by any stretch of the imagination, like by default, but they're just sort of
this movie was special.
Sort of brush them off.
Yeah.
But I saw it in theaters, and I had heard a lot about it, right? Like a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's really good." And I went and watched it, and I was like, "Damn!" I was actually like really impressed. Like that should have been nominated for Best Picture. I thought that year it was really good, and it caught me by surprise how good it was. And the animation style was just so cool.
It was really cool. I remember you told me how good it was. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I caught it on the Android box, and I really liked it too.
Yeah, so that's my number 2.
All right, my number 2, Avengers Endgame. Now, it's tough to decide like which Avengers.
This is your number 2, not your number 1.
You thought it'd be my number 1? No, it's not my number 1. The only reason that this takes like the cake over Infinity War. Infinity War I thought was a lot more action packed, obviously, right? Like Avengers Endgame, they were wrapping everything up. I loved how just like bleak the beginning was. Avengers Endgame. It still seemed like there was no hope, you know. Even when they go finally find him, you realize that like he snapped the stones away, and then that was it, right? Like so, it's like now 5 years later. Oh my god, like what's going on now? I loved everything about the end. Like I'm watching that in theaters. It gave me chills. Like when Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America are fighting Thanos, and like they're just getting their asses handed to them. And you think like this is it, all is lost, right? And then all of a sudden you just hear Falcon or whatever the hell his name is. He's like, Cap, on your left. Whatever, right? And then you realize, like, Doctor Strange opened up all the portals, and they're all coming in to, like, fight. Oh, dude, it gave me chills, man. I was like, oh, so, like, such a powerful movie.
And that's a long battle sequence, too.
Oh, dude, it's like, we watched it here, it was like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's, like, surprisingly long, like, right? The time just flies by.
Yeah, and then, like, even when, like, Captain America, like, wields Thor's hammer, oh, that was sweet.
And he goes, I knew it.
Yeah, oh, I knew it.
Going all the way back to, I love when one of the other Avengers movies when he's trying to lift the hand, and it moves a little, and Thor's getting nervous.
Yeah, he gets nervous, and then he's like, "Oh no, guys, I can't do it. Sorry." Which he definitely could do it, right? But he's the only other person worthy enough to wield it. All right,
and they did a good job of having it like sink back into moments in the other movies and stuff.
Oh, for sure, yeah, fantastic end, and like as much as I didn't want to see Iron Man die, I thought it was the best fit for that movie. And it was like, it just like how obnoxious he went out too, right? Because Thanos, I am inevitable. He's like, I am Iron Man. Boom! He just snapped his fingers and brings everybody back. So good.
I will say one thing I think that would have been interesting in that movie, if they, and this is what my original thought was going to be, was that, so 5 years have passed since the Thanos snap in Infinity War, right? Iron Man, he's living in this cottage, right? Just sitting back. He has a daughter now. I thought that they were going to say that to snap and bring everybody back, it was going to have to like undo the last 5 years. So he'd have to like make the choice and give up his kid.
Yeah, his daughter or saving everybody else.
Yeah, I thought that's what they would have had to do. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have been rough. All right, honorable mention.
My honorable mention, I got to give an honorable mention to Shazam.
Oh, okay. Now, I've never actually watched it.
This is the first movie that came to my mind as an honorable mention because I was like, it might not be the 6th on the list, but I was just like, I like this movie. I got to get it out there for the people. So
I heard it was good.
I didn't know anything about it before watching it last year. And I thought, Shazam, he's just this character, right? But the movie, it's a superhero movie, but it sort of has that like Deadpool-esque comedy vibe, not R-rated though, of course.
Right.
Where it's a comedy as much as it is a superhero movie. So the whole thing with Shazam, which I had no idea this was the way it was, Shazam is just this kid. I can't remember exactly how he gets the powers, but I think he says the word Shazam, and then he turns into the superhero.
Yeah, it's like an adult superhero, yeah.
He turns into this adult superhero, and then he says the word Shazam, and he turns back into the kid. Right? So you can imagine a bunch of like
pretty funny premise,
ensues. But yeah, shout out to Shazam. The DC Cinematic Universe has had a rough go. So I think that was one of their victories.
Yeah, that was a little uplifting for them, yeah.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
All right, my honorable mention, and I know I actually bashed this movie earlier when I was talking about it. This is Captain America: The First Avenger. Now, when I first watched this movie, I couldn't care less for it. I thought it was boring. I think I fell asleep halfway through. I rewatched it now multiple times afterwards, and it's definitely one of my favorite Marvel movies now. It's because the thing is, it's kind of the origin story of Captain America, but it's also it has a war theme to it too, right? Because it's all dealing with World War II.
Yeah.
So it's this superhero / war movie. It's kind of cool, right? And Captain America, he's super strong, but he doesn't have these crazy superpowers, right? He's just strong and whatever, right? So it's a little more fitting that it's in the army, he could take him on, right? So it feels more just like a war movie than it does a superhero movie. It's actually if you go back and watch it, it's a really good movie, really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like I should go back and rewatch it because I thought pretty similar to you when I first watched it.
It's awesome, actually.
It feels more like a war movie than a superhero movie. It's it was okay. But I wonder.
Yeah, I really liked it in the end, yeah. Yeah, it does. It's underrated for sure.
All right. My number one.
Hold on. I have a feeling we're going to have the same number ones. Because there's only one right answer to this.
All right, so I'll say mine, and if yours is the same, we'll dive in. It'd be hilarious if I picked Doctor Strange. All right, which I've never seen.
Dude, are you serious?
And I just got to say, Doctor Strange, without the CGI, his motions would just look ridiculous. I mean, you can say that for all of them, but at least Iron Man looks like he's shooting stuff. Doctor Strange, and it's not a video podcast, so listeners can't see, but he just looks like he's doing Tai Chi, wow.
Yeah, it does. That's funny, actually.
All right. Anyways,
my number one John,
is The Dark Knight.
Obviously, the only number one choice.
It really is look at how many superhero movies there are and how good they are, and for this one to be still the cut above, just goes to show how good it is.
This movie is by far the best superhero movie, and I don't think it's even that close. On my list, I have Endgame next to The Dark Knight. It's not close. The Dark Knight is that high above.
It has a lot of things going for it. First off, obviously Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker is legendary, right?
Oh my God, yeah, it was incredible.
Especially tied with the fact that he died before the movie released, and he was awarded the Oscar after his death and everything. Then you have Christian Bale as Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's an awesome Batman.
He was really good, yeah.
Really good. And then it's directed by Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
As good as it gets.
Dude, fantastic. That's the thing. He started this whole trilogy. And The Dark Knight stands out above the rest, right? But the rest of that trilogy is fantastic too. It's just The Dark Knight was so good that it overshadows the other two movies.
I was tempted to put almost Batman Begins on my list, even though I really like Dark Knight Rises as well. But this middle one
is
the best
great
one.
Too. Yeah. So, the Dark Knight. I think it has a lot to do with Heath Ledger. His Joker was just dude. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the whole trilogy I just really love because similar to Iron Man, the thing I love about Batman is that theoretically, if you were really smart, really, really smart and really, really strong and really, really rich, you could be Batman. He exists.
Oh, for sure.
He's not
Anyone
has
could
these
be Batman,
mystical powers, right? Same as Iron Man. He's just really rich and really smart.
Yeah.
And it's just grounded in reality. That's what I love about these movies. The Joker, he's not doesn't have these weird clown, I don't know, bombs, right? That shoot out magic dust.
He's just a crazy guy. He's just a psycho. That's it.
Exactly. He could exist, right? He just
it seems it's a very superhero movie. Yeah, it's very gritty. It's very not gritty to Superman versus Batman or whatever.
Yeah,
not that kind of
Batman
gritty.
versus Superman.
That's no good. That's no good grit.
No.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan. And the best part about Christopher Nolan movies, he uses a lot of practical effects too, right?
I love practical effects in movies.
Yeah, he doesn't do a ton of CGI if he doesn't have to, right? The truck scene where the truck flips over. They literally just flipped a truck over.
They use a giant
a piston or something like that and just poof pops it right over. it's just a mix. Like it's just so real feeling. But yeah, anyway, I was gonna say I was watching a video earlier on YouTube, and it was talking about like all the people that have played the Joker or whatever. So there was one guy back like in like the '60s who played him on the TV show. But besides that, like Jack Nicholson was the first one to do it, and then Heath Ledger was the next one, which is like almost 20 years apart, the two of them, right? And people originally like were like Jack Nicholson's Joker's like the best. There's nothing better. And when they heard like Heath Ledger was doing it, people were like losing their minds, so mad, right? Like, oh, this is ridiculous. You know, he just does like romantic movies. This is so stupid. Blah blah whatever. And then he like puts on that performance, and it's like nobody even thinks about Jack Nicholson anymore.
No, when you think of the Joker, like you think of the Dark Knight, and you think of Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah, it's Heath Ledger. He's the Joker. Like, in fairness, I didn't watch the movie The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, but
he was good. But it's a different sort of movie.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like Heath Ledger is just the Joker for me. I think he always will be. I don't know. He was so good in that movie. Like so eerie. So
I gotta go watch that movie again.
I know. I was actually thinking about like when I was watching that YouTube video, I was like, I gotta watch this whole trilogy again.
It's so good.
Have to.
I have it on Blu-ray. And the soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. Oh, it's awesome.
Your fave, yeah.
Yeah, my man Hans.
He does like all Christopher Nolan stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did Inception.
Didn't he do Interstellar?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to do Christopher Nolan's Tenet movie.
Tenet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was supposed to come out in July. We'll see. I don't know if it's even been delayed.
Yeah, I doubt it will. But that'll be interesting. I just like Christopher Nolan. Anything he puts out, I'm like, oh, I'm on board. Yeah, you know, he's earned that trust now. Like,
yeah,
that's what I like about certain people.
This trilogy in particular, because I feel like it's, you know, like up until this point, we had the Spider-Man movies, but they're colorful, right? They're still uplifting, like, hey, Spider-Man, you know, it's all good vibes. But like, this is some gritty stuff. Like in Batman Begins, you know, he's just this crazy guy wears like a burlap sack on his head, the Scarecrow, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
The world's going to shit. And then The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, just, yeah, what good movies. Yeah, there could be no other choices, number one.
That's the thing. People rip on The Dark Knight Rises too, right? But like,
I love that.
The only reason it was like, oh, it's fantastic. The only reason it's looked down upon is because The Dark Knight was that good. But like, that's not to say Dark Knight Rises isn't like, you know, just as good, but it's hard to top The Dark Knight because it was that good. But like, yeah, I thought like Tom Hardy as Bane was awesome. Like, you know.
Yeah, I like Tom Hardy.
Me too. Yeah, I like him a lot. I was born in the darkness. Like,
yeah, right. You know, it was very memeable, right? The voice.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
I liked it. And like the opening scene is so good. The plane.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
very painful.
Awesome
for you.
For you. Yeah, but it was a wacky voice. I guess thinking about it now, but
a little bit, but it was a good movie because I like that Bane was. He was an opponent mentally, like as much as the Joker was, because obviously Batman could just beat the shit out of the Joker, right? But the Joker has the mental edge. Where Bane, he also, you know, had that mental edge. He had the city on lockdown, everything, the trucks roaming around with the bomb. But Bane was also strong enough he could kick Batman's ass, right?
Oh yeah, just like snap his back, pretty much.
Yeah. So he had both elements.
Yeah, you're right. That is a good point there.
But then, like, The Dark Knight has the whole other side of the movie with like Two-Face and everything.
Right? Yeah, I forgot.
It almost falls into the background. That's how deep that movie is.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God! What a movie! Yeah, I gotta watch that movie. Maybe I'll see if Leo wants to watch it tomorrow. I think he'd like it. Good action scenes. He'll learn to love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
All right. Well, that was the top 5. Let us know your top 5 superhero movies. It can be anything. Doesn't have to be just
Dark Knight as number 1.
You're crazy, email us. You can still email it in. And no, you know, I got a better idea. If you think there is a movie better than The Dark Knight out there, let us know. Because I can almost guarantee there isn't.
But like maybe we're forgetting movie something. Or any movie?
Superhero movie.
Got to get specific for the listeners.
I can almost guarantee there's no better. And I would love for someone to correct us. Although it probably won't happen.
No, but we're all ears.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, we're holding on.
Oh, okay. Here, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Could you hear me before too?
Yep. I just saw you say,
okay.
Hold on. And then you gave me one finger up like a, wait a moment, but nothing happened.
Okay, no, I was screwing around with some settings here. I thought I cut my audio off. I guess I didn't.
Nope. But we're going to leave this all in because we don't edit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let us know your top 5 superhero movies.
Yeah, email
us. You're all enjoying your quarantine vacation.
Yeah, how's it going out there?
Too crazy in the house yet.
You can think of the ScruffCast as like a weekly check-in, you know? How's it going?
Yeah. We're your therapist. Just here
holding up out there?
Catch up.
Yeah.
It's not easy, this whole thing, you know? Gets sad. Staying stuck in the house all the time.
Yeah, stay inside.
We know it's tough. The ScruffCast feels your pain.
I know. Dude, I miss the Timbits every week.
Dude, me too. I haven't had Timbits since the last time I was over at your house.
I haven't had them either. Oh, so painful.
Damn.
Makes me want to cry.
Me too. All right. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah. Email us, scruffcast@gmail.com, with your top 5 superhero movies and pretty much whatever the hell else you guys want. We'll read any email.
Yeah. This is the thing. Our lives were boring enough as it was before. This is not helping, this whole quarantine thing.
No.
Now our lives are really boring. So we really need some help now. Because there's just nothing going on.
Yeah, so please email us, scruffcast@gmail.com, and follow us on Twitter @scruffcast or on Instagram @thescruffcast. You guys got to get on Instagram. Like, if the coronavirus pandemic's been good for one thing, it's been the memes. The memes have been dank.
Guys. Get on Instagram. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, everybody. As Dan says, even though he's not on Instagram. Although you are co-owner of @thescruffcast on Instagram, so.
Yeah, exactly. Technically, you know. I guess I am on Instagram. All right. That's it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Zoom Take 2. Maybe that's what we'll call this one, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
no, maybe not. Maybe you got a better idea. I don't know. All right. Well, that's it. You guys all found out the creative process of how we title all these. That's pretty much it right there.
Yeah, it's usually a little random.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was episode 94 of the ScruffCast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week. As I'm watching her go, all I'm thinking is, oh damn, that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
He'd be all nonchalant, but he'd just be ripping a max combo.